Oh no, it's good to get you on though, mate. As soon as Zach was announced, I was like, this will be good to get him on. Right, bro, we're on. The director's cut.
Where's the clap? You could have used the clapper, mate.
You've never had a clap. He's not got one, has he?
I have. Yes. We used it last week, didn't we, mate? Let's use it again.
Is this live now? Is this going? Yeah,
it's live,
cool.
But we're going to use the clapper though.
We're not. Zach, don't, because he only claps anyway when he's behind the camera. Don't listen to him, mate. He's a fraud. Right, so as you can probably tell, the guy sitting in front of the camera today is the guy who's normally sat behind the camera. We're 30 seconds in and he's already told a lie. You've not got a clapper. You haven't. You always do it with your hands behind the camera. I'm always waiting for you to do that. Behind the camera.
I found it last week. It's something I've had for
What's
ages.
Like a director's cut thing? Where it's like a...
It's got like a little scene thing on it and everything.
Really?
Normally when it's you, I draw a dick on it. and then clap. So we know, anyone that's editing then knows it's you.
Right, well, it's been a good episode.
Is that the end?
That's it, yeah. Before this gets any worse. But no, mate, it's good to have you on board. I did say it'd be good to get you on because as much as I give you shit, which I do give you... To be honest, the last couple of episodes I've watched back, I've been dead sound to you. I've given you a good couple shout-outs, you know. I have.
Don't know about that, like.
I have. The one with Steve where I was like, listen, and I just went on a big tangent about you.
Yeah,
and
but
the one before.
You, like, picked me up and then drag me down.
Oh, I've got
it's
to keep...
like you like lure me into false insecurity when I'm
I've got to keep you humble. Like
the defences are down. Kick him.
Right, because any other person you've got, they just let up your ass. You need me to just remind you that you're a regular guy.
There's a difference between
don't care about the gym
and just being kind.
And the wedding photography and the successful content. I don't care about any of that, mate. You're a regular guy from Prescott. Do you know what I mean?
I am.
You are. That's all you are. That's why you're here.
You're just another man. If he bleeds, we can kill him.
Do you know what? This podcast got organised not even 12 hours ago. Did it?
Why was that?
Because I'll tell you exactly why. So anyone who thinks I'm mega organised, I'm not. I'm very go with the flow. Why are you saying that?
Because I've been called in as an emergency.
No.
I'm a last minute. Right, shit, if I forget
you're
a
not
guest,
last minute.
We'll just get Chris from behind the camera.
Do you know why you're last minute? Should we give it to Lucy while we're here? Lucy's meant to be on today. Met up with her on Wednesday for coffee.
Oh, well, that's no surprise.
And then she said, like, next week is... She said, we're on next week, aren't we? I said, I'm not sure. I think it might be this week. She said, no, it's next week. We arranged. And then all of a sudden, you're like, no, it's tomorrow. So thank you very much to Lucy Brabin, who is a future guest anyway. She's going to come on. But she's the reason that we're in the shit. And this is the reason I've got this fucking B-list videographer sat in front of me today. Because we've got no other... I'm not messing, mate. But I think you are a good guest to have on, to be honest. I've actually come up with one question in the car.
One.
The rest of this is going to be completely off the cuff.
Is it fucking deep?
No, it's just a pretty regular question. But I think we'll go on from there.
We'll get deep.
I think we'll go on from there, mate. To be honest with you, like I hate complimenting you because I don't like you.
That's fair enough.
Because like I think we're just like, you know what I mean? We act like friends, but we're not really. We are friends for anyone who's wondering. But
I am shaking my head, by the way.
For all the audio listeners, there's a tension here. No, but obviously, you've been like mega successful. Like jokes aside, obviously you've gone from, you put a picture on your Instagram the other day of where you had like 3 machines in a fucking gym, and then now you've got a big CrossFit gym.
I love that gym.
It's boss that, wasn't it? It's good. Is it good to look back?
Do you know what? Right, like I don't know how much people know about like how much gyms cost and stuff, but they're a fucking fortune. Right? And I started that gym with $2,000.
Yeah.
And it was full of like equipment. You could literally like, so if you was on a rower, everything was there for like display purposes, really. Yeah. You couldn't really use it because the rower, like if you was anything over like 60 kilo, it'd do a wheelie. Right. If you was like the bikes, which was in there, you could just pick up with one hand. They were like from Argos and stuff. I got all my kettlebells from Aldi in the sale when they was in the middle aisle. Yeah. I just went along with a trolley and just grabbed them all quick. And everything in there was just like second hand or just like, it wasn't purpose built. Do you know what I mean? But it sort of was purpose built because I knew what we needed and just needed to get started, really. Yeah. Do you know what, mate? That ties in really well. That's why I said we only need one question and the rest of it's going to go off from here because I've got questions off the back of that. Obviously, me and Steve on the last podcast spoke about just getting started
and the power of genuinely just getting started. And you can jump in here at any stage, but I think, and he used a good quote, which I'm going to use again, and it's paralysis by overanalysis. And the reason that a lot of people don't actually achieve things for themselves isn't that like they try and fail, it's that they don't try at all. Do you know what I mean? So, what in terms of like just getting started out, did you fucking see it going like it is? Because you are smashing it now, but was it literally just a case of, I like doing this, I'm going to give it a blast? Like, why did it start? Why did you start a gym, mate? What was the motive there?
I'd been a manager already in a gym, like from when I was like 18, 19.
So about 20 years ago?
What, nearly, mate? Yeah. About fucking 13 years ago, yeah.
Was it? You're not 31.
33, I'm.
So 15.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it's old you, aren't you?
Long time ago now.
How old are you, Zach? 23. You're old enough to be his dad.
I'm not. What, how many 10-year-olds you know with kids?
It's like a good contrast. He's 23, I'm 28, you're 33. We're like generational, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? We're like 5 years between us all.
Yeah.
So when you was 18, yeah, go on, sorry.
Yeah, so I basically started working in like leisure centres as like a lifeguard and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I applied for a job as a manager or duty manager in a gym in Liverpool, and basically like got laughed at because I'd only been a lifeguard for about 8 months or something. I was like, "Whoa, he's going for a manager, what a dickhead." Yeah. And then I got the job. And I
you got
like,
the job?
Yeah, and then I was like driving down the road. Whee!
So what did you do? Like sack everyone there?
No, it was
long list of like
completely different gym.
Who was laughing at me here? Like, I'd have defo been on the sack list, me. 100%.
Going in as like a 19-year-old as duty manager then, and then mate, there's just not enough money in it.
No.
And it wasn't like you
mate, the money in
quite a
fitness
high
is
position,
shit.
yeah. But like as in the gym, well, say like if you're a gym instructor or whatever, you're sort of like bottom of the pile. And then you think, right, duty manager and then the manager.
It's minimum wage, mate, gym instructor.
Pretty much, but even like duty manager was, mate, it wasn't much more. And I was thinking, well, the only way up now is to go to manager. And even that was like, it wasn't a mega amount of money.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fucking hell. And then at the time, I was doing a lot of fighting and stuff. Like
Were the people who laughed at you for going for manager?
No, not like that. No, it's like, well, probably a lot of that as well. But a lot of like MMA and Thai boxing and stuff. And the gym that I used to go to, they had a unit open up next door.
Yeah.
And they was like, why don't you just do strength and conditioning for the fighters?
Yeah.
Because nobody was doing it at that time. Like,
yeah.
And gyms at that time, mate, like everyone's got a fucking gym now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like everyone opens a gym and everyone gets like primal strength, 0% finance and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there was none of that back then.
No, there wasn't.
Nobody had a gym.
No. When was this, like 2008, 2007-ish? Around then?
I ended up opening the gym. So I was managing that in Liverpool for about a year and a half, 2 years. So I think I was 21 when I opened the gym.
So like 2010-ish, 2011?
2010, 2011, something like that.
Yeah, that's what people don't realise now. Like, fitness from gyms, from coaches now is such an oversaturated market. Like, everyone's trying to do it and everyone's trying to open a gym. And, like, people don't realise, like, there's definitely not a lot of money in it, but like the fucking success rate as well is like so low because of how many people actually do it. Do you know what I mean?
But the barriers to entry's a lot lower as well.
Yeah.
Like when I got qualified, like I literally went to college and then went in and got a job as like a lifeguard and a gym instructor, and then went up to manager and stuff. And then I got me level 3.
Yeah.
Personal trainer after that, after I'd already spent like a year or two in the industry in general, learning and stuff. And then I was like, all right, I want to do actual personal training rather than just gym instructing and inductions and stuff.
Yeah.
So the barrier to entry now, mate, anybody can just, like, you'll know yourself, like, how many people in COVID went, oh, I like a bit of fitness. Like,
4-week course.
I'm just going to, yeah, they qualified in 4 weeks and they're doing online courses for people.
Yeah.
Or online coaching, do you know what I mean? And trying to charge like 200-300 quid a month.
The scary thing is, and I had this conversation with Lucy the other day, and I don't know the lad's name, so I'm not gonna drop him in it, but like the barrier to entry is so low, but like due to that fact as well, like your level of service is low as well. Like,
yeah, the standard of the
standard is so low. Like, Lucy does like little bits of like business coaching as well, doesn't she? For, is it Mark Coles?
Yeah, Mark Coles, yeah.
And she was talking to me the other day, and this lad was like, I think he was trying to like instantly charge like 2 ton a month. And he popped up to her and was like, how'd you work your macros out? And she was like, you're a fucking PT, like you're a qualified PT. Like, why are you asking me that question? And like, I think a lot of it now is, me and you have this discussion all the time. You're like one person I really love bouncing back and forth with this topic, but it's like people will see you with the camera, see you doing well, see you with all the content, all the fucking people that pay you, and go, it's an easy career. Just fucking takes pictures. I'll just get a camera and do the same thing.
Yeah, but like you just said, mate, what's that, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
That's a 15-year career. Do you know what I mean? Which has brought me to this point.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Which has just naturally evolved into then like, right, okay, now I'm going to do content for other coaches and stuff and help them with their ideas and whatever else. It was a natural progression over time.
Yeah.
But it's 15 years.
Yeah, it is.
It's not something
it's a career.
Just gone, it's not something we've just gone, oh, well, I'll just do this course for 4 weeks and then I'm just going to start charging loads of money and trying to be like, living my laptop lifestyle in Dubai. Yeah.
That's the picture that gets painted a lot, isn't it? For coaches these days and PTs and online coaches. And I had, he listens to my podcast actually, so I'm not going to name drop him. He's a really good kid. He's actually now, he's really switched on. Like, I think he's 18, 19, and he actually does one-to-ones with me now. So like, I'll train him. And he was like, I want you to train me so I can get better, but I also want to pick stuff up off you, which I thought was a really good idea. Do you know what I mean?
It's like a mentorship.
Yeah. So it's just like, I'll train him. He's absolutely smashing it. He's like piled loads of muscle on and he's picking loads of stuff up, and he started like picking clients up as well now. He's like an apprentice in our place. But I remember he shadowed me like a year or so ago. And that, you know me, mate, I don't talk to anyone about my finances like whatsoever, because you keep them to yourself. Do you know what I mean? It's like private life to private life and whatever else. And I said to him, he was with me for 4 hours one morning, right? And do you want to know the 2 questions he had off the back of 4 hours? How'd you get clients?
Yeah.
How much money do you earn?
Yeah.
And I went, right. So like the first one, I was just like, I went into a bit of detail. I said, I don't normally tell people how much I earn. I said, but just from PTing alone, I earn X amount. And like his eyes lit up and I went, get that fucking number out your head.
£1 million.
I said, no, just a bit higher than that. But I said, get that number out your head. I said, because it's so easy now. And like, we was on about it again the other day where I watched a podcast yesterday, Joe Rogan one, and it's all these like, buy my courses, you can get rich quick, all this type of stuff. And people want like instant gratification. People want short-term success. And like you've just said, it doesn't happen. It takes 15 years to like, it takes a long time to like get into the swing of things. And like, I think that's why the success rate is so low. Because I don't know whether it happened to you as well, because I had to study for 3 years to be a PT. I think I studied from 17 and got qualified at 20, or when I was 19 or something like that. It was like 2 or 3 years. I had to do a gym instructor course where I actually had to have, mate, I had coursework like that fucking big.
Yeah, same here, mate.
Now you go on, click a few things online, you're qualified in like 4 weeks. It's a joke, like how low it is, but I think that's why you see such a low success rate. But not only that, I remember being in the classroom and the guy who was teaching us was like, I know PTs who earn 40 grand a year. 40 grand a year when you're 19 might as well be 40 million a year. Like you live at home with your mum and dad, like you've got nothing to pay for. Like 40 grand just pure profit is like a lot at that age. She's like, fucking hell, 40 grand a year, that's amazing. Like, and then you go in and it's like, oh, you earn nothing. You earn zero. You've got no clients. You've got the potential to earn 40 grand a year. You've got the potential to earn
like the mad thing about that is probably when you got qualified, probably similar. Well, I had the same sort of thing because the industry was just like normal.
I think I'd have been about 3 or 4 years behind you when I got qualified.
What I would deem as normal anyway, like before COVID, and you'd have like, if you was earning a decent money as a PT, like even like 25 grand a year, 2 grand a month or whatever, to 240 grand a year. I don't know many PTs that was earning 40 grand a year.
No.
Did you?
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like that was like the upper limit.
Even
like,
now I don't.
No, I know, but like
Even
that was
I
like
don't.
the serious like upper limit and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like since COVID and things, everyone just went online. Everyone started charging whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
Nobody had any like, I don't want to like call anyone out or anything, but like no real experience or no real sort of like knowledge behind them or anything.
Yeah.
No real results either.
No.
And they just started like, they were just good business people or they come from corporate worlds or sales or something like that, and then jumping on a call with people, convincing them to hand over 300 quid a month. Next thing they're making 10 grand a month. And they're fucking shit coaches. Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's I deal with it a lot where I've had, and I'll never badmouth coaches publicly. It's not my thing. There's like you just said, there's
only privately.
Who?
Only privately.
Only privately. When we're off the camera, I'd slag everyone off, but just not publicly. I don't really. But what I was going to say then, yeah, it's you just completely killed my train of thought. What was I saying?
Mate.
What was I saying?
How shit all the coaches are, apart from you.
No, apart from me. I'm not saying I'm the best coach. And listen, I'm not. Like, I hate talking. Like, I hate. Do you know what's really weird? Even today, I hate it when people like are up my ass. Like, I got sent something this morning, and one of my mates, this guy, popped up and was like, I'm thinking about signing up with Jamie, and like, is he really that good? And my mate sent him like loads of mis transformations going, what do you mean? Like, look at these. And even now, I still get a bit cringy about it, but it's, you have coaches who are shocking, and you have coaches who are absolutely out of this world, like the level of knowledge that they've got. And like you say, they've done it a long time. And it's like, it's about trying to, for a client, it's about trying to like identify that. Do you know what I mean? It's about trying to like know who to go to. And the amount of like trust issues we've now got in like the fitness industry, because like you've just said, people have looked the part, will be paid a videographer similar to yourself, got some content, got some videos, started a fitness account, they look in decent shape, they can talk on a camera, have no fucking clue what they're doing. And then all of a sudden they're earning fucking thousands a month just doing it. And like, I use this analogy, the one you just said there during lockdown, I just use this analogy. If there's a guy in lockdown who went on a barber course for 4 weeks, would you trust him to cut your hair? You wouldn't. Would you fuck? You'd go to someone who's been doing it like 10, 15 years. Like, you wouldn't be like, oh, you wouldn't go out your way and start a fucking barbershop after, I've been qualified, so like a week, I'm going to go, you wouldn't do it. So, but for some reason with fitness, it's massively oversaturated. I think it is because it's such a low barrier now, though.
Yeah, but I think it's even worse than that, to be honest, because the worst thing that can happen if someone gives you a bad haircut is you just have a shit haircut, do you know what I mean?
Like yours?
Yeah, but if and you fucking knock me now. But if, say, like, I compare it more to, like, dentistry.
Yeah.
If you go to someone who's, like, not qualified dentist or not a qualified doctor, you wouldn't trust them to, like, prescribe...
No.
Drugs to you, or
no, would you bother?
Or
no.
to get your teeth done or anything like that, because it's just as bad.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, like if you go to a shit coach and they give you bad advice, you can get serious chronic disease
illness.
or
Yeah, you can.
chronic illness. Your energy is going to be low. Relationships start to crash. You start feeling shit about yourself. It can lead to all sorts.
Yeah.
It can become proper dangerous.
It can, and I've had so many girls who, let's be honest, there's always a thing of like who has it harder out of men and women. Women, for me, especially when it comes to fitness and the bodies and everything like that. Like there's so much, we've got it so easy, haven't we? We just wake up and crack on. But women have got so many things that are like, so many factors with the scale work, so many factors with why they're feeling the way they're feeling. There's so many different things, there's so much more complex. And with that being said, the way you approach like coaching females has to be a lot more complex. Like if they come to you 1 week and all of a sudden like they're feeling quite erratic, as opposed to the week before, well, there could be a reason for that. Whereas with a lad, it's quite streamlined, isn't it? Whereas women, there's a few different avenues. And I've had girls come to me and like the hair's fallen out, they've missed the periods, loads of different things. Then I've looked at the stuff and they're like, oh yeah, I'm on 600 calories a day. I'm like, oh, that's why. Like your body's fucking falling to bits. And like it's like you've just said there, it's not that like you shit, like you just mentioned there, if you get a shit haircut, you should get a shit haircut. If you get your nails done and the shit, you take them off. If you go to a coach who doesn't really know what they're doing and that you say they do that, it can affect your entire life. It's such a knock-on effect. Because like you say, it can affect your energy levels, can make you moody, can affect your relationships, can affect your work, and it just knocks on and on and on and on. And like, that is one thing that, I don't know, how would you combat that? How would you combat that now?
Mate, I've been trying to figure it out for years.
I think we're too far into it now to go back. Really, I do. Because, like, it was all right years ago because when me and you were getting qualified, how many PTs did you know? Didn't know that many. No. Now everyone's a PT. Everyone's a PT. And it's like, listen, and I'm all for chasing what you want to do. I am massive on chasing your dreams and living a life that you want to live pretty much on your own terms. But I think there should be, like you say, there should be an actual barrier to entry. There should be like a little bit more of a thorough screening process to do so. 100%. Me and you, like I think 2 to 3 years is a good time.
Yeah, I had a message this morning from, it was a girl, just asking like, how'd you get into the industry and do you want to get qualified? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean into the industry? The industry's so wide, like you can either be a personal trainer and work for a gym, you can be a personal trainer and work for yourself, you can be an online coach, you can just be a gym instructor. There's like too many things to just be sort of like into the industry.
Yeah, you could be anything.
I was like, what do you mean? Like, it's got to be more specific. And she said, I just want to like start getting clients and stuff. And I said, well, the best thing to do is just do a load of stuff for free. Try and shadow someone if you can. Try and get as much experience coaching people as you can for no money. Do that for a year. Do you know what I mean? Get qualified for a year or two, get some experience yourself, and then get experience doing stuff for free. Get some results from people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's the hardest bit, isn't it? Getting it off the floor.
Yeah.
Because you need to get trust from people. And that's like a bit of advice I give to people. And I know, but if people turn around and go, if you're good at something, you should never do it for free. And I agree. When you get to like, that sounds awful. When you get to like our level, we've done it a while.
Well, how do you get good at something?
Yeah. Well, you've got to do it. You've got to, social proof. You've got to have that social proof. Here's a question for you. What do you think are the most important factors for a coach? What do you think as a coach, like anyone up and coming, getting into the industry, what is it that they should be focusing on? In order to be a competent, like good coach, what do you think is like the main things? It could be anything. It could be marketing. It could be the way they care for people.
Marketing should be the last thing.
Yeah, I agree.
So I was going to actually put this on my story yesterday. I was going to have a little rant and I thought, oh no, better not.
I think I'm a very, don't get me wrong, I get a shitload of clients, but I think I'm a very unsuccessful marketer. I don't go out my way and go, that'll be good. I just put it up.
Yeah.
And like, I think that's one thing I've got nailed. I think that's one thing you've got nailed as well, is like, we just do it because we like doing it. And I think that shines through. Whereas when you are I need 5 men who want to get in shape for something. Fuck off. Like it's just annoying.
Is that in the industry now, there's a lot of business mentors out there promising like the world, promising the pot of gold, do you know what I mean, at the end of the rainbow. And like, for example, you could have just done a 6-week course, got qualified, you've got the piece of paper that says Jamie Clark is now a level 3 personal trainer or whatever, and then I just go, do you want to make 10k a month, Jamie? Oh yeah, that sounds fucking great. Like, sign up with me, give me 1,500 quid a month, and I'll get you to 10k a month. And the next thing, these people are trying to charge whatever they want. And they're learning business, they're learning marketing, when realistically, that should be the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
Like, you need to get a good product first.
Yeah, I agree.
You need to get experience first. So get your knowledge of how to actually coach first.
Yeah.
Spend a good amount of time
learning
some biomechanics, learning nutrition, learning prehab and all that sort of stuff, injury prevention, what happens if your client does come in with a bit of a niggle or something.
Yeah.
How do you work around that?
Offering solutions,
Yeah, offering solutions, you know what I mean? Trying to work out how to adapt things, or even potentially doing like a level 3 in sports massage or sports therapy or something like that. So you've got that level of like, right, I can competently look after someone no matter what happens. Then go away and do it for free for a bit. Get some experience actually putting the practice, the knowledge and stuff into practice. And then once you've got results and you start to get results and you start to charge, start from the bottom, start charging a little bit. Increase it as you go up.
Yeah.
The more you get full, the more you increase it.
Yeah.
And then if you're struggling, then see a business mentor.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like someone who's like barely started in the gym. You don't need a coach straight away.
No.
Do you know what I mean? You need a coach when if they're competent enough to know how to like move or like to actually use machines and stuff. You don't need a coach straight away as long as they're not doing anything dangerous.
Yeah.
You need a coach when they either don't know what they're doing or they've hit a plateau.
Yeah. Or they have a goal that they don't know how to reach.
They don't know how to get there, yeah. But if you know what you're doing at first and it's working, then it's working, isn't it? Yeah, keep doing that. So that's the same thing for coaching, mate. Like, people just need to learn the basics and do it until it stops working, and then seek help.
But I do think that's why, touching on what you just said there, I completely agree with Mark. If you want to, let's break this down to 2 different ones. If you want to be a good coach, as in like the fundamentals of what defines a great coach, marketing should be last, right? If you want to earn a lot of money and not be the best coach, then marketing should be first. However, in my experience, I think, like, obviously I've not got any metrics or data to go off, but I've seen coaches that are like, sign up 30 people a month and drop 30 people a month. My clients tend to stay on every month. And I think it is because I have that level of care. I pretty much have an answer for everything. As you just mentioned there, like if I'm coaching someone one-to-one in the gym, obviously I get to see them. Pretty much any obstacle that comes up with either the way they're moving, if they're tight in a certain area, if they're struggling to connect with a certain movement, 99.9% of the time, I'm backing myself to go, it's this.
100%, and that's because you've got experience.
Yeah.
You've dealt with it before in the past.
Yeah.
Like at first, say like you just said, then someone's not got quite a good connection with the muscle. You might have gone, oh shit, I don't really know what to do here.
Yeah.
But then you find out.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So next time, then you know what it is, and that only comes with experience because you don't know that might come across.
No, exactly, and that is one thing, and I think that's why. Did I tell you about It's unfair. It's unfair for clients. It's unfair for coaches. I think it's unfair for clients because they're giving money to people who don't necessarily know exactly what they're doing. Like you just mentioned there, when you are like wet behind the ears and you're very green in the industry, mate, if I got given my level 3 qualification, my test now, I'd probably fail it. Truth be told, because we don't do everything. We don't do a par queue when we walk in. We don't do all this over the top. Remember when you had to do that in your tests? You par queue and then you had to like walk them around the gym. You don't do that during your sessions. So I'd probably fail my level 3 now. But the fundamentals of like what you learn when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to training, like the body, like you keep hold of all that. But there's a lot of stuff you pick up just by going through the job. Do you know what I mean? Like I always say this, like the more people you deal with, the more experience you get. Like, it sounds stupid, but let's say, for example, if I've got a mate who's like really long femored, for example, and he struggles to hit depth on squats, right? He's got poor mobility in his ankles. And like anyone else could be, I can't hit parallel my squats. Oh, well, just work on it. It's a shit suggestion, innit? Whereas like with him, like we work through it. And if it come again, I'd be like, I've had something like this before. This is what you got to do. Do you know what I mean? And you don't get that from a course. You don't get that from paying like above the odds for like, you say, these different like business coaching, these different markets. And I'm not knocking business coaches. I've had a business coach and it was a great decision, do you know what I mean? But I think if you're coming in the industry for monetary gain, it's a bad idea. Did I ever tell you about one of my mates? He's doing a level 3 now, but like he's doing an actual course where he goes to college. So probably similar to what me and you did. And I don't know where they found the stats or the metrics behind it, but did I tell you what percentage of PTs and coaches, well, not necessarily coaches, but how many PTs fail, the fail rate?
I know you said it was high.
It's like 97%.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. But like, I think a lot of it is, one, it's fucking hard. People will look at me in the gym and go, how easy has he got this? Just talk to people all day. That is the easy part of the job. It's getting them in the gym for me to talk to them all day. That's the hard bit, do you know what I mean? And that comes with like your social proof, that comes with putting in the hours, putting in the work and things like that. But I think it is difficult because you do get, in my experience, because I've failed as a PT when I was younger, and I'm also successful now. And the first time, I think it's because you're like, I'll get me level 3, and I'm just straight out earning 50 grand a year. Yeah, and you're just not. Do you know what I mean? So, what advice would you give to like someone coming up?
Like I said, mate, just go and get experience. Go and do the courses. Do you know what I mean? Like. I don't think I even picked up a fucking barbell or anything on my level 3.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
It's very machine-based,
It was all machine-based stuff, and like there wasn't a great deal of biomechanics. You do like your A&P and stuff, but there's not like a great deal of like muscular load on.
No.
Like which muscle groups work from which machines and which are the best way to like adjust things and all that sort of stuff. There's not a lot of that. So I'd say go away and learn. Go away and keep doing, like, go into more detail, do a course in nutrition, do a course in biomechanics, go and ask people, like I said, go and find a coach like yourself.
Can you
mentor me for a year?
That's one thing that's massively going out of fashion, that asking people.
What, for advice?
Yeah. It's all, I've seen this on TikTok. Am I wrong there?
No.
I had a girl who come to me and she was trying to tell me why she does a certain thing with her feet during like a hamstring curl. And I was like, the way you're doing it is activating your calves. It's why we're not getting like a complete contraction. I said, where have you learned that? TikTok. I said, all right. Back in my day, mate, talking like I'm 50, but I just seen the biggest geezer walked up to me and went, what do you do? What do you do, mate? I want to look like you. What do you do? I think a lot of that's going out of fashion at the minute. Do you know what I mean? Like people, like, and this isn't me bad mouthing anyone. Like I've had people, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but I've had people in the gym, and I really don't want to come across as an arrogant cunt here, but I'm just going to call it a spade a spade. I've competed and won, right? I've known my physique has been at a very high standard before. I've got kids who are built like SIM cards coming telling me how to train. Why'd you do it this way? That's wrong. Well, why is it? Because it works for me. And like, we're all different. We're not all off a conveyor belt. You've got different, like, lengths of limb, which means different planes of movement. We've got different switch fibers, like slow and fast. And like, I can connect with this exercise and you might not. And it's what works for you. But now it's very, oh no, this is the way. A 30-second TikTok video told me this is the way. And I think that's quite a dangerous thing for young lifters, for young coaches, that like, it's kind of like...
Well, the thing is, mate, they don't know what they don't know. So they just see one thing and think that's the way it is. But the more experience, like even now for me, like God knows, well, years into the industry, the more I learn, the more I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The more I realise I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's like you said before, you have someone and you could give them the same stimulus to one person to another person, and it just doesn't do the same thing.
No, it doesn't.
It could be the same person, like same build, same everything. It just doesn't work the same.
No.
Everything's got to be individual. You might try something with one person, doesn't work. You've got to have then 3 or 4 different things to do. Right, okay, try this. Right, okay, that's not working either. Like, try this. And it's all trial and error.
Yeah.
And people might think, oh, well, you obviously don't know what you're doing, then you must be a shit coach because you should just be able to give one thing to one person and know exactly, like, it should work. And, like, no, that's exactly not how it works.
What you just said is the mark of a good coach. Identifying that it's not working.
You've got to have having alternatives. Ways to attack it, yeah.
I've had people, like, I've been absolutely shredded before for competition, just hitting 15k steps a day. And then obviously my nutrition's on point and I've been on PEDs as well at the time. But I've had other people who've done photo shoots who I'm getting ready for comps. And like, they're on like, I put them on what I was doing because obviously that's what I've done and I know that works. Then I just see how they react to it. And mate, some of them are doing Stairmaster for an hour a day after a session. Some of them are on way less calories than me. Some of them are on more. And it's like, we're not all the same. We're all completely different. Like you've got like different things, like your BMR, the way you're built. Like it's like you say that, oh, you should just be able to look at me and no. Like you should just be able to, like you've just said, have the alternatives. That's not working. Okay, we've got a plan B. Plan B is not working. We've got a plan C. You should have A, B, C, D. You should have so many different things to go with. Because if you've just got one plan of attack, it don't work, what are you going to do? Oh, right, well, doesn't work. Find another coach. See you later.
I can't remember the exact analogy, but I'll probably butcher this. You can't put a shelf up with a sledgehammer.
I think you have butchered that.
I know. Someone will fucking comment anyway.
What do you reckon, Zach? Shite that on it. I've never heard of it before.
Well, you'll use that now anyway, mate. It's
he
something
won't,
like that.
He won't, because it's shocking.
It's not, that's a good one. But basically, you go into B&Q, there's about 15 different types of hammer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they all do the same job.
I think you should move on from this analogy. I'll give you another go.
I don't know what the analogy is.
Just get to what you're on about.
You've ruined this entire podcast.
I've not ruined it. It's you, sledgehammer and a fucking shelf.
You put yourself up with a sledgehammer.
Would I put a shelf up?
With a sledgehammer? You don't even know how to put a shelf up, do you? You get someone else to do it because you're minted.
I've actually put a shelf up in my house. But I would pay someone to do it now, yeah. No, it's all right, it's decent.
Use the sledgehammer.
Yeah, it's all I had at the time, yeah.
Point being, there's loads of different tools that do similar job.
Yeah.
And you've got to be able to go,
fine-tune.
Okay, that's obviously not the right way to do it.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to try this one. Right, that's not worked either. I'm going to try this one.
Yeah.
And just keep going backwards. You've got to have a full arsenal of stuff.
I agree. Completely agree with you. And it's not just the stimulus as well. Like, when it comes to certain exercises, like, I've had people pop up to me, and they're like, and for me, you're not an expert in something, and I'm not claiming I'm an expert. I've got so much more to learn. Like, I'm always open-minded. Of course I am, but I'm by no means an expert. But if you can't explain something in the simplest fucking terms, you are so far from knowing what you're on about. If someone comes in the gym and you can't break it down exactly for them, if you come in and you start talking about, well, this plane of movement and degrees of fucking, like, your elbow. No, if you can't break it down for a newcomer or like someone who's new, for me, it's not. And I always put it across in layman's terms. I think people think I'm a lot less intelligent than what I am. But sometimes it's clever not to be clever.
100%, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if I have Sharon, 45, 3 kids, wants to lose a bit of weight, then all of a sudden she comes in and goes, why should I be jumping on the treadmill for like 20 minutes after my session? And I go, well, what it is, Sharon, is we've got something known as LIST cardio, low intensity, steady state. And what it does, she's lost me. She's fucking lost me.
She doesn't give a fuck.
No, does she fuck? But if you turn around and go, well, actually, with your daily output, it just contributes to this, and eventually it's gonna help with fat loss if you do it consistently. She's got that. And like, there's so many people who will pop up and speak to me and they'll go like, why don't you do pull down? Or why do you do pull downs over pull-ups? And I'm like, because I fucking do. Like, what's it got to do with you? Like, do you know what I mean? And like, it works for me. And I think, again, taking it back to that, you've got to have this arsenal. Because I have people who, like, I could put someone on pull downs and they go, don't like these, mate, can I do pull-ups? And I'm like, do you connect with them better? Yeah, we'll do it then, no problem. Like, I always say to my clients, I think that's why it works so well, is it's a relationship between me and them. Like, I've had people when I've put them on, like, barbell, and they've gone, don't connect with this, can you do dumbbell? I'm not going to turn around and go, no, because I've written barbell. Like, no, if you connect with dumbbell, go and do it. And, like, it's about having that in place, isn't it? And being able to tweak and change and for different people. But I think that's why we do see a lot of people, like, the whole unsuccessful side of it, just because they're not having the experience to be able to do that. Do you know what I mean?
100%, mate. It's my favourite at the minute is the busy professional shout from coaches, which are targeting busy professionals but making things more complicated for them. There's a reason they're fucking busy. Yeah. Because they don't have time to be able to be asked about all that sort of stuff. They're probably like, I don't know, fucking dealing in stocks and shares, and they've got a million other things going around their head, and they've got families and everything else. They want it to make it as simple as possible. Yeah. Don't make it as complicated. Add more things in. Right, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to start adding 5 sessions a week in. They're going to be 90 minutes each. You've then got to start fucking spending 2 hours a day prepping your meals. You've got to then start doing this. Hang on, no, fucking make it easier for them. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They don't care about all that other stuff.
They don't. And that's one thing I've had...
All right.
Oh, well, you're so unprepared, mate. Honestly, are we still going here? Are we just on that one?
There's another one in that bag, Zach.
Are we just on that one for now? Right. So what's just happened is this man.
I'm not behind the camera. What do you want me to do?
This man here, right? I pay him £500 a month for this for this service. No, £550 actually. It is.
It's a good job I'm not on camera because I've just nearly fell off my chair.
£550 a month for paying for this content, which is a farce, and he can't even put an SD card in.
It's going to be £1 million a month. You don't shut up.
Honestly, like, the reason this has been interrupted is because Chris can't put an SD card in. Paul Zach's first day on the job here, and he's being run ragged because Chris is the most unprepared man. Speak to me about being unprepared. Right? Should we take it back on topic to you because you were today's guest?
Yeah, if you want.
We've just ranted for about 40 minutes. How long have we been going for? Oh, this is a farce, this.
Format that one.
It's what?
Let's have a pause.
We're
going to just pause there.
Yeah, pause there, guys. Be back in a sec. This is a shambles, Chris. I can't believe you. Are we back on here?
We're back on.
I've just had a very troublesome text about my artwork.
Heartwork?
So, me artwork.
Problems with your heart?
So basically, if you want to laugh, Rob's sitting in mine, isn't he, to collect... Are we live here?
Yeah.
People can hear this anyway, I'm not bothered. But basically, I've had Rob sitting, haven't I? I've not left him a key and I've locked the door.
You've locked him in?
Yeah.
It's a bit...
But the email says he's delivered. So he's obviously found an alternative, hasn't he?
He must have just shouted out the window, just leave it outside.
Yeah, he must have. He's texting me now. It's been delivered by the looks of this. So, mate, obviously we've spoke about the power of kind of just getting started, because you starting out in a gym that cost fucking $2,000 has like now propelled you onto massive CrossFit gym in Widnes, which is doing well. What?
I just laughing. It's not massive.
No, I mean like massive, like it's doing well.
Metaphorically massive.
Yeah. Why are you putting yourself down?
I'm not.
I'm trying to make you out to sound like you're the new like Panatta. Do you know what I mean? Like you're the new big deal. I don't know. It's still a decent sized gym. Yeah. Do you know what? Right. Off the back of you and this SD card, this is how you're being. I'm trying to make you feel better because you can't do your job.
I am. You know what? I'm modest.
Right. So obviously, I'll probably miss some stuff out here. Obviously, you've got the gym, you've got the houses. Cut that out if you don't want the HMRC to know. You defo don't declare tax on that house,
mate. I'm not even going to say the amount that I pay.
Get company's house up. Get company's house up on the laptop and have a look. Have a look at his earnings.
You can.
But obviously,
I paid more tax than we was basically talking about PTs earn before.
Yeah, it's grim, innit? What I was going to say then, obviously, you've got the videographer side of things, the content. You've been a wedding photographer. What's next, mate?
Still, I'm a wedding photographer.
I thought you're not still on the head.
Yeah,
next Friday you're away, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're away next Friday.
Still booked in, mate. knocking it down, basically, because once they're booked in, there's no moving around that. So your whole year has to be based around other people's weddings.
Right.
And I'm old now, so I'm not prepared to do that anymore. I want a more free life.
I don't blame you. Can you pause this? That fucking thing is outside my house and Rob's looking at it. It's a 600 quid painting. What is he doing? Wait there.
It's not raining.
Can't open the door. Let me ring him. Can you pause this?
just keep it going. Keep
Jesus.
going. We'll cut
You
it
can
out.
keep it going. It'd be funny
We'll
as
cut it
fuck.
out.
But right. So do I tell the story? What's just gone on?
Yeah, you may as well. Welcome back again.
Welcome back again for the third time. Third.
This is the third time, yeah.
First, we're 1-1 now because you fucked up with the SD card and I fucked up with my life. So, right, basically what happened was I ordered Jade some artwork for her birthday and I've got someone in right now waiting for it to be delivered and I locked him in the house so he couldn't accept delivery. And then I've just had to stop the podcast to ring him. The artwork was outside my house so anyone could have took it, could have just stole it from me. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, Rob's, he's gone and picked it up.
Could have got me some nice artwork for the back here. That
Do you know
nice,
what? Do you know what? Right, not bullshitting. You know when I was in the lakes, I was going to get you one.
Was you?
Then I thought,
you didn't?
Yeah, I thought you didn't want one. And I thought, I don't really like you that much, so I'm going to spend that much money on you. Dear them things, mate. Couple of £100, them canvases.
I know. Well, that's how successful and minted you are.
I pay you 600 quid a month as it is.
Okay. Anyone that's actually listened so far and continued to listen, it's gone up every fucking 20 minutes.
I know. With interest.
I hope it does. I'm going to check the bank later.
Right, so the question was, mate, 'cause obviously I tried to make you sound really good and then you put your gym down, you put yourself down because you're very
self-sabotage.
Self-deprecating. Yeah, it's something you've got to work on, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So we're going to go into a therapy session now. We're going to start talking about your insecurities. But where do you see yourself going from here, mate? Because obviously I've been well documented. Like, here's a big one. You ready for this? What's your end goal, mate? Like, what do you see Chris Tomlinson at the end of it all? What do you want?
I said it was going to get deep.
I know, we're here now. We fucked about
I just want to be happy, Jamie.
No.
Just want to be happy. That's my end goal.
What does happy look like to you?
Mate, do you know, have you ever seen the film Sexy Beast?
Is it like a biography about you?
No, it's not. Might be. But it's Ray Winston, right? And he's sitting next to his pool in Costa del Sol. He's a bit fat. And he's like retired criminal. Not that I'm a criminal. But he's retired and he's just sitting there. He's just sitting there sunbathing all day.
Right.
Listening to music, having a boss time.
And that's it?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I always say that to Jade, you know.
I was like, yeah, that's
I can't wait to just get old and fat, like. Just can't wait. No, you've done it all. You can just chill. So
I'm just tired of working hard.
Yeah, it is draining. No, but obviously your goal isn't to sit in a fucking pool. Or is it? Costa del Sol, is that the goal?
No, I wouldn't go there, like. But to have a more laid-back lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, if it's optional to go to work that day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, obviously, because it comes across like I'm just getting fucking lazy, but I'm not. It's just I pushed that hard for, like, a long period of time. I've just had enough of the grind.
Yeah.
I've had enough of, like, that, like, push mentality and, like, we need to get more money and we need to do more things and we need to do... Do you know what I mean? I'm at a point now where I'm like, right, okay. I think it's probably since I've had Amelia, to be honest.
How old's Amelia now?
She'll be 4 in May.
Just, yeah, it's been the last few years, hasn't it, really? Then?
Yeah. So, like, the last few years, I'm like, right, okay, I need to set up for a position where I'm not doing that anymore. Because, like when I was in my early 20s, like I said to you before, like, I've slept in the gym. Like, I've did all that thing, do you know what I mean? When I took over the gym, which I've got now, it had, like, hardly any members. And I couldn't afford the petrol to actually drive home. It's not even that far to go home.
Yeah.
But I couldn't afford the petrol. It wasn't worth it because I'd be finishing PT at 9 o'clock. And then I'd be back in at 6 o'clock in the morning. It wasn't worth the actual petrol cost to drive home, to go straight to bed, to just drive back the next morning.
Yeah.
So I just sleep in the gym.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So to go from that, like, I couldn't do that now.
No, definitely not. You definitely can. That's why, like, a lot of, and this is advice me and you'll probably give out, like, but a lot of the older heads in my gym, like, I remember last year, I decided to take when I was always happy doing like 3 days a week PT and 10 clients a day, 30 clients a week, very manageable. And then I had a couple of days off to myself, and then I had my online coaching work as well. But then it just started like really, really taking off to the stage where I might knock back a couple of people a week, but it got to the stage where it was like a couple a day, 3 a day, 5 a day. And I was like, I'm turning money down here. And there's a couple of the older heads in the gym are like, don't do it. You'll work yourself to death.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but I want to now. Like, I don't want to get to 40 and go, shit, I could be set up if I fucking did that 15 years ago. Yeah, it is.
You're putting the time in now, so you don't have to when you're in 10 years, 5 years, whenever you want, you know what I mean? You're putting it in now, building that like foundation in place. So, and that's where I'm sort of like, and a lot of people go wrong with this because they don't know when to pull back again.
Yeah.
You just think grow. And obviously the more you grow, the more you see the next level of people and you go, oh, well, I want to be them.
Yeah.
And you just get caught up in that, do you know what I mean? Whereas like the last few years, like I've had a lot of shit going on in my life anyway, like personally and things. And it puts a lot of stuff in perspective. Do you know what I mean? You think it's not to be an end all.
No.
You need to have money for 3 things, in my opinion, like your bills and your cost of living, your investment for yourself, like if you need to do more courses or self-development and things like that. And then your third thing, mate, is just your fun money. And once you've got like them 3 things paid for, like you don't fucking need anything else, really.
No, you don't. You really don't. And like the other day, like I saying that, like, so obviously going back to the ideology of what is like a successful coach and that and stuff these days, like I look at them and go, I genuinely just don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to. Like, I think physically me and you could do it. Like, we've got it in us to do it, but you sit there and you think like, I'm already pushing so much. Like, how much more have I got to push to get to where you're getting to? And yeah, it must be nice, but there's days now where like I sit there and I'm like, I remember sitting there on like a Monday morning one day and thought, I was working out the week and I thought, oh, I'm not getting a minute till Sunday now. Like, I'm not doing anything till Sunday. Like, I can't chill and play my Xbox for an hour. I can't take my girlfriend anywhere. I can't see my mum. Like, I'm literally pedal to the metal for 6 days. And like, I know people going about like, oh, I don't know if I work today. If you work, no offense to people that work them, but if you just work a job which is like 12, 8, 9, 5, like, your job begins and ends after them. Like, a lot of people don't see with you, me, other coaches, people who are self-employed as well. Like, not just our industry, but anyone really. Like, the job starts when you wake up and ends when you go to sleep a lot of the times, you know what I mean? And like, I'm the same as you, where I want to get to like 35, 40 and be like ready to just kind of go, yeah, I'm fucking semi-retired now, or I could live off passive income now and just chill. Do you know what I mean?
Isn't it? It's like, I know people think like, oh, the passive income, like, oh, it's dead easy and stuff. But like, if you put the effort in, it can be done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The problem is people want passive income now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work that way.
It's going to work in like 10, 15 years. Like, if, like, we've had conversations, which we won't get into too much, but we've had conversations about like buy-to-lets and stuff. And like, you're in the shit for like the first few years, and then it'll pay itself off because of how much of a down payment you put down. But then after that, it's passive income. You aren't going to get it today, do you know what I mean? So is it fair to say that your goal is to buy more time?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I was just going to say then, like, I could if I put my head down and grafted, I could probably double my income, like, as a profit this year than I did last year.
Here's a question.
But I don't want to.
Here's a question. Would it change your life?
If I doubled it, fucking make it worse.
No, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah, make it, like, people think, like, oh, you don't really income there. Yeah, but I'd have to work double the amount of time.
Yeah.
Which means, like, relationships will struggle.
You won't see
burn
Amelia.
out multiple times. I won't see Amelia. I'll never get that time back ever again.
Yeah.
My grandma says to me, she's 90. She'll be 91 this year. And she says to me all the time, oh, you need to stop working so hard, you know. And I explain the same thing. Oh, well, I don't want to in 3 years. When Amelia's in school, I won't be able to take a month off when she's off for summer and things like that. She goes, well, you can be the richest man in the graveyard. Makes no difference. Everyone's the same at that point. You're like, well, Joe, it's fucking true. Like,
such a powerful thing, that the richest person in the graveyard. And it is true, mate, where like you do sit there and you just think like there's more to, and this is where like when people speak to me and they must think I'm full of shit, but like once you have slept in the gym because you don't want to spend the petrol because it's not worth it to fucking drive home, and you've also been in the position you've been in where it's like you've earned a shitload and worked a shitload, and you can then have a qualified opinion to go, money isn't really necessarily everything. Do you know what I mean?
No, and it is easier for us to say when you're in that position, when you've got some money. Do you know what I mean? And it is regularly coming in. because it does make you obviously more secure.
Yeah.
But the problem is people get to that security where they want to get to, and then they try and push past it, and they want to go further, and they're like, oh, well, now I've got it here, maybe I can go there. But they don't realise the level, like, you've got to extra put in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, say, for people that want to get in shape, people can get in shape, do you know what I mean? But, like, the level to get in shape from being in shape to going on stage is fucking enormous.
Yeah.
It's double the amount, it's like effort and time. And it's the same thing with, like, any sort of success. To get to a comfortable position, it's okay, anybody can get there. But to go, like, to the next level, you've got to, it's the same, it's twice as hard.
Yeah, it is. And like you say there, it is easy to say from, like, a position of, like, not comfort, so to speak. But my life, mate, from working in Curry's to now, if you take out the couple of luxuries I got myself, like my car, I can't really think of anything else I've really got that's luxurious. Obviously, a lot of money goes in expenses, like I know a joke, but like you and the gym and other stuff, like I pay a lot a month anyway in expenses, but bro, I still, like, in my spare time, still play computer games, still just do stuff with my girlfriend. Like, I'm not going out, like, fucking going on mad skiing holidays and going on jet skis and, like, living life up and fucking toting cigars every day, and like I'm still doing the same thing. And I think once you've been in both positions, you realise all about yourself, I think, where you sit there and go, I'm happy here. Do you know what I mean? And I think, like, you've just hit the nail on the head there, where the last thing I want to be, like, your grandma said it so well, like, richest person in the graveyard. Like, the amount of stories you hear, and obviously everyone's different. Like, I don't want to say everyone's wired the same. I don't want to say that, 'cause some people are extremely money motivated, and that is their thing, where you're probably more family motivated and memory motivated and stuff like that. But it gets to the stage where, like, I've listened to podcasts and interviews where they've gone on about, I've got this many cars, but I trade it to have a son. I've got this many houses, but I trade it to have a family. And, like, you hear successful business people go, what would you do differently? And they'd be like, I won't work as hard because my marriage broke down and this broke down and this broke down. You've got to have that balance.
You never see old people or on the deathbed or anything. Not that I've ever sat next to anyone on the deathbed, but as the story goes, people never say, oh, I wish I'd worked harder. I wish I'd worked longer. I wish I'd spent less time with my family and stuff. It's always the opposite way, where people go, oh, I wish I'd spent more time with things. Even now, looking back at the last few years of Amelia, I look back and think about things, like, which I might have missed or not been there for. And it's even like little things. Do you know what I mean? And you think, oh, I wish I'd just fucking spent a bit more time there. And that's, like, my goal. And I know we joked, like, before about, like, success and where people think of success. They think of, like, Dubai, living in, like, the Burj Khalifa or whatever with the Lamborghini and fucking whatever they're doing, like diamond rings and all that sort of shit. And me and Claire was joking the other day, all I want is, like, a little house in Wales to go at the weekends. I don't even want a massive house. I just want a little cottage, like a little 2-bedroom cottage or something, with, like, I can just look out at the mountains and have a cup of tea in the morning. And I'd be dead happy.
Bro, me
take the dog for a walk around the lanes, go to the local pub. You're like, Chris, how's it going? Do you know what I mean? Have a little pint for your evening, mate. Go back home, watch a bit of telly. Like, that'd be me. I'd be dead happy.
Bro, me and you are very similar in that way. And obviously, we have spoke about these things before. But, like, me and Jade have actually discussed doing it in the future. Like, we thought about getting a house in, like, Kendal, right by the lakes. And we're like, it's in the middle of nowhere. No one bothers us because we love being, especially because it's in St. Helens, like, every fucking cunt recognises me now because of how well I'm doing. And Jade hates it because she's very shy and she's a very introverted, and I'm clearly very, very extroverted. But, like, I like being away from my phone. I like being away from massive amounts of work, and she's just like that anyway. So we have sat there and gone, wouldn't it be boss if we were like 50, 60 years of age and we've got enough money to kind of move up here and fucking chill out and just go for a walk around the lakes and fucking relax and stuff. And it does get that. Like, I've never turned around and gone, I want to go to, like, fucking, like you say, Dubai and the Burj Khalifa and do this and that. It's just not in my, like, list of goals that I want to achieve. But should I say to everyone, it's like, you've got to live life through your eyes, not through other people's.
And, like, it takes time.
It does.
To understand that. And, like, you do have to go through a bit of shit to, like, obviously you've had stuff with your dad. I've got stuff going on with my dad at the minute and stuff. It's just a case of, like, you do learn what's important. And, like I said, like, you want kids at one point as well. I had Amelia and stuff. You start to think, like, fucking hell, like, income's not everything.
No, it's not.
I mean, the time that you spend with your family and everything else, that's, like, the real wealth, really.
Yeah, it is.
Quality time.
Definitely. And I think you've got to go through, it sounds stupid, but I always go on about like, you learn your best lessons in like losses and hardship and stuff like that. And there's been so many times, and you've probably done it as well, where I've sat and thought about it and thought, like, I've cringed at stuff I used to do in a way that like, I'll be like, oh, I'll put this on my Instagram. Like before I was like back coaching, I'd be like, I put this on my Instagram, like, I bet you people pop up about it and stuff. And I think back and go, oh, how cringy was that? Like, do you know what I mean? But then when you pull it back and you think, what do I want, me personally? And then you master the art of like not giving a shit really. And then, because do you know what? If you peeled everybody back to bare bones and was like, what do you want? What we just named about big flashy cities, nice flashy cars, lad, I bet you like 1% of people actually want that. And like we've just mentioned there, like a lot of people probably just want, oh, like a nice holiday house with me family, or
just somewhere to go and have a nice like chill time.
Get my house paid off and go on 2 holidays a year, and like it's mad how, but we get so swept up in this like constantly spiraling fucking like expectations of what people want through like social media. I think a lot of it is like learning what you want as an individual. Like, don't get too caught up in like what the world wants, because it's crazy, especially now. Like like good ones, like comparison's a thief of joy, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm going home tonight. Like after this, I'm going home to like my 2-bed house, buzzing. Like, I could go out my way and buy a bigger house if I wanted to, but like I'm happy living where I live, living my lifestyle, completely content and secure where I am. But a lot of people, mate, they just live to kind of like impress others, don't they?
Yeah, and to be honest, there was like I had like a bit of an epiphany the other day, and I think it was on Monday. Claire was working late up for whatever reason anyway, and Amelia just come and lay on me and just went to sleep. And I was just lying there and I was like, this is the fucking best moment of my year. Do you know what I mean? Just come, go, yeah, daddy, can I come lie on you? And I was like, yeah, and she went to sleep and I thought, how fucking lucky am I?
Yeah.
I want more of this.
Yeah.
I don't like, there's never been a point where like, oh, right, I want more of that money. Like, to go and buy whatever, fucking, I don't know, another meal out or fancy a meal out or whatever, or a new car or something like that. There's never a point like that. But I just want, oh, I want more of this.
Yeah.
More time of this.
100%, mate. Like, in terms of like what you actually want out of life, or what you need, it's very small, isn't it? Really, like you just mentioned there, like that for me is a big one. Like becoming a dad, being like secure enough, like you say, with money. It's not the be all and end all, but it is quite important. Like, you want to use it to buy time. And as soon as I've got kids and stuff, mate, like I say to everyone all the time, like when I'm most excited to like be a dad, me, and then I want to be like a part-time coach and a full-time dad. Like, I want to like take them to football or take them to dance or whatever they decide to get into, and I don't want to like you just said there, I probably missed a few things. Like, if I was like, oh, sorry, I've got to do this podcast today, I've got this session to do today, and it's like my fucking son's football game and I've missed it, I'm not going to, like you say, you're not going to be on your deathbed going, oh, I'm so glad I missed my son's football game to earn that extra bit of money.
And vice versa, like, this might sound a bit like counter to what we've just been talking about, but like, you do need a level of finance for that sort of thing as well, for that freedom. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, like, I always wanted to be in a position where, like, if Amelia needed something, I could buy it, like, without having to, oh, shit, can we afford that? Or, like, say if she was going on a school trip in the future or whatever, do we have to go, oh, fuck, can we afford that? Or is that going to be, like, this or that sort of position? Yeah. So that's all I wanted to be. Do you know what I mean? Get to a position where you go, right, I know we can afford things without having to, like,
kill yourself, really.
Oh, no, we can't put the heating on this winter because Amelia needs a new uniform. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But, like, vice versa, have the position where we're not going too far, so we've still got the time to be able to spend with each other.
Yeah. Still not answered it then, mate. What do you want to do? Is it just like a nice house in Wales?
I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do, mate. It's like... do
you know what you're like, mate? You're like me, where you'll say all this and you won't do it.
No, because I'm not.
No,
if I say I'm going to do something, I'll always do it.
No, I don't mean like that, mate. What I mean is, you'll have this nice house in Wales, and you're so wired now. Half your life you've been doing this. You think you're just going to snap out of it like that? I don't think you would. I think you. No. I don't doubt your goal. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. But I don't think you just sit and relax.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. No. So, like, I'll probably go back to coaching again. Yeah. So more like...
is that your true passion, that?
You're helping people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I've been doing, like, sort of, like, outdoor qualifications and things like that.
Yeah. So I've noticed that, yeah. You've been quite quiet about it, haven't you? Yeah, you've just been putting cryptic stories on your Instagram about climbing.
Yeah. So, like, been doing some outdoor qualifications and things. So, my goal...
Talk to us about that, mate. Give us an exclusive.
I've been doing some qualifications for
Right,
outdoor
cool.
climbing.
Let's move on then. Yeah, thanks for that, Chris. Oh, go on. Like, what's the goal there? To be like a mountaineer or something?
Yeah, so that's something like, so as a PT, well, you know, you like doing fitness and you might have another job. So you worked in Curry's.
Yeah.
You loved doing like training and things. So you went, right, okay, I'm going to go back to being a PT. And then suddenly it's your life again. You're like, oh, fucking hell, what do I like outside of this? What can I do to get away from that? And then you find something else, which for me was photography. And then suddenly, like, I've created an entire business
around photography.
And that's back to work again.
Yeah.
So, like, now I've got them two things which are working. And then you're like, right, okay, well, what do I want to do which isn't going to be like a monetized thing, which I just enjoy, which is getting outdoors and being with nature and all that sort of thing, getting in the mountains and things which I enjoy. So I think once I've got more time, it'll be more just like guiding people and taking people up mountains and more coaching, but like mixing the two together in some capacity. It's not like anything specific which I've really gone, right, okay, this is the goal for that. It's just something which I'm moving towards gradually and it'll figure itself out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'll figure bits out as it goes on, but hopefully be qualified this year.
Mate, I'm buzzing for you.
Yeah, and then it'd be a case of
it's nice to see, I know I joke, it's nice to see you doing shit for yourself. You give us a lot of you give us a lot of you.
Yeah, well, it's one of them things, mate. A few years ago, have you seen that 14 Peaks documentary?
I've not seen it, but I've seen it advertised and stuff like that,
Well, when that came out, we and Claire watched it, and Claire went, oh, you like going in the mountains, don't you? I said, yeah. And she said, when did you last go out? And I was like, fucking hell, it was like 2 or 3 years prior. And I was like, right, I'm going to make a commitment to start going out more now, and making that time, that non-negotiable. So I started doing that, and I was like, oh, right, okay. And then more people started coming along, and then start taking people from the gym out, and just like introducing them to it. And mate, the buzz you get from people being outdoors, you go away and they're different people in the week. Do you know what I mean? The better parents, the better fucking in work, just better people in general, just because they've gone for a walk on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? For a few hours and just got out and got away from the phones and got away from technology and the hustle and grind and everything else. It's just, that's it.
Yeah, me and Jay do that, mate, now, every Sunday. We just, obviously at the minute I'm proper dieting, so we've had to pull that back, but we'll find a breakfast place, go and have breakfast, and then nearby we'll find a walk. And just walk, mate. And it's so weird, you get home and you have this feeling of like contentment because you've had time to yourself, because it's very, especially you and me, but well, everyone, I suppose everyone, mate. Like if you do work a 9 to 5 and then you're looking after your kids and everything, like how often do you actually get time to yourself, like yourself? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even when on the night when the kids are in bed and you've like made the teas and whatever else, you sat there having time thinking, fucking hell, I'm back up in fucking 8 hours. So it's not even time to yourself.
You're never 100% present.
No, you're not.
Whereas what I find is when you're in the outdoors, mate, say if you're up a hill, what I like doing is like, if you look at nice big fucking landscape of scenery, you think, wow, this has been here for like millions of years.
Yeah.
And it'll be here for another million years, well after I'm gone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And the wind's hitting you, and the rain's hitting you, or the sun, or whatever the scene, and all you can feel at that moment is pure presentness.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You just literally look around, either rain's hitting you or whatever, and you think, fucking hell, I'm cold.
Is that something you'd prescribe to like anyone that?
Anyone, mate?
I agree.
Anyone.
I agree.
And loads of people go like, oh, you're fucking mad, or like, I just couldn't do that, mate. I'm like, all right.
Mate,
but like,
can I share a funny
nobody's going to do it and go away and be like, I wish I hadn't done that.
Can I share a funny story with you?
Yeah.
It's not like a story, but if you started using your,
you're going to have to just say what it is now.
No, but because if you have, we'll talk about it on air. If not, I'll throw myself under the bus.
I've done this morning, yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Right, so now, do we just say it?
We just talk about it.
Okay, cool. So me and Chris have started microdosing mushrooms. This way you go. That's not what I'm on about.
What are you talking about?
What are you on about?
What are you on about?
I thought you went with protein. So me and Chris have started microdosing mushrooms. I started using lion's mane in December, and I've seen like massive like effects from it. Like everything was just, it sounds crazy, but everything's just better. There's no way to describe it. Everything's just better. And I had the flu and I started taking them tablets, didn't I? But now I've started using them properly. And on the Sunday, was it last Sunday or the Sunday before? It was the Sunday before I took it, and mate, I was literally like, it's like the edge completely got took off me. I was walking through a forest just like looking at the trees. Mate, I'm not even bullshitting.
Right, let me just explain quickly. Like, it's not a pure like psychedelic.
No, it's not. Don't make me sound like a fucking hippie. I'm not saying that.
But I'm just saying, like, the way you just made it sound like me and you just sitting here tripping our heads off, chatting shit. It's nothing like that at all, guys. It's literally the only way I can describe it is it's a bit like when you've had like a coffee or a can of Monster or something. You're quite clear on your thinking.
I don't even think it's that, mate.
Maybe you took a massive dose.
I'm not saying it. No, I'm using small. I'm not saying it in a way where I'm like spaced out. I just felt relaxed.
Just good. Just
felt great. And Jade literally looked to me and was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Isn't Nate?" No, I said.
Was you hugging a tree?
No.
You're taking your shoes off to ground yourself.
Do you want to know what I actually said out loud to her? I said, "Look at these trees." She said, "What are you doing?" I went, "Isn't nature mad?"
Yeah.
That's what I said. I literally went, "Isn't nature mad?" And I was like, "Say these are the trees." I was just like watching them like rustle, and I was like, "Isn't it fucking crazy? Like we're just so connected to nature." And like it just took like the edge off everything, mate. Like it was it was crazy. How are you getting on with yours?
All right,
we'll just chat a bit of shit here. Go on, how are you getting on with yours?
I haven't had them like this week, so I only have it like.
Felt a difference.
If I know I've got a big day, I'll have one of them. Because I feel just a bit clearer.
Have you felt?
It's placebo.
Have you felt different?
Could be placebo.
I think that, but do you know what? Like,
but I don't care if it is. It still works.
Because effectively, it still works.
Still doing the job.
Still feel great, yeah. We're not turning around like telling everyone to start taking fucking mushrooms here, by the way. But like, it's just we've researched it, and I feel great. I feel great from doing it. It's like some lad who started doing it because it's not coming into fashion now, but more people are speaking.
It's been more researched.
Yeah, it's been more researched. But I've known a lad who's done it for years, and he literally said the same thing to me. He was just like, "Imagine life, but just better." And I went, "What do you mean?" He went, "I don't know." He said, "Imagine life, but just better."
And it's not like massively better.
No,
it's not like.
It's just like you've like multiplied your life a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
just like
you enjoy things a bit more.
Yeah.
You're a bit more relaxed. I just don't feel stressed. And like obviously, my fucking hell, I told my mum, didn't I? You'd have thought I'd had like.
I haven't agreed to this because my mum will not listen to this.
Well, you know, my mum doesn't know I've got a podcast, and we're 9 episodes in now. She still doesn't know. But the way my mum reacted, it's as if I told her I had like a heroin addiction. Swear to God, mate. Like I was sat in the living room with Jade, and bear in mind, I'm not throwing my mum under the bus. My mum was a fucking smoker for God knows how long. She's never stepped foot inside a gym, never looked at the nutrition. And this sort of annoys me. Like people turn around and go, "Do you know Jamie takes like fucking magic mushrooms?" And it's like, yeah, you dickhead, but my nutrition's also perfect. I'm constantly on the move. I'm mega healthy. Everything's where it needs to be. But I turned around to my mum and said, "I've started microdosing a bit of mushrooms," and she hit the fucking roof, mate. "Why are you doing that? People in my day used to..." I started going on about all this, and I was like...
You're talking about like the 60s and stuff.
I was like, "Mum, shut the fuck up." 60s? You better hope my mum doesn't listen to this.
How old are your mum?
1970.
When she was born?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Sheila got all the bad shit, all the bad stories from the 60s.
Good job she doesn't listen to this, mate. 60s. Yeah. 53 years young, my mum.
Oh,
young, mate. But no, I just thought I'd run it by you because I thought... I didn't know whether to throw you under the bus in case you wanted to be like mega professional.
Have you watched the documentaries about it on Netflix?
Which one?
There's a couple of good ones. There's one called How the Mind Works. These are good. How the Mind Works, and it's like a whole program about psychedelics. And then there's another one called Fantastic Fungi. Do
you think that this is where this is going to end up? How long have you been going here, Zach?
1 hour, 14 minutes.
It's long, this.
It's going to be 3 hours 14 at the end of this, because we're going to end up going for... This is the longest podcast we've done.
I know.
I think the other one's about 58 minutes before this. So we're going straight in. But they reckon like the ancient civilizations... Have you watched Ancient Apocalypse with Graham Hancock?
Yeah.
Incredible, mate. Incredible. But like they reckon like people from back in the day, that's how they did it, wasn't it? Like they experimented with psychedelics. And like I know it sounds stupid, but like... And we're not talking psychedelics like you take them and you start fucking hallucinating and it's like a gateway fucking thing. But like they do think there's something behind... having them in like mental fortitude and like thinking and like clarity on your thoughts and your mind and stuff. Mate, I'm loving it. I feel I was going to take one before coming here, but I knew I'd be spaced out. Like, because I'd taken an hour or two afterwards. It's like I'd have been here doing that. Like, "Oh, aren't these boss?
Stroking
stuff. Isn't that dead nice? It's bright that in it. I'd just be talking shit. So like I'd take it and sit in the house. I'll go for a walk, and then I'm just like mega relaxed then.
The Fantastic Fungi documentary is really good, though. It's like proper science, do you know what I mean? Talking about different things and like the history behind it and what it's getting used for now. And
we aren't condoning anyone to get off this podcast and jump on mushrooms. Do you remember when you used to watch WWE back in the day? And it was like, don't try this at home.
It was WWF when I...
Yeah, it was WWF for me as well. Don't try this at home. We have done extensive amounts of research and we thought it would benefit us. So don't get off this and immediately order like old fucking mushrooms because we aren't getting sued for this.
As well.
It
is illegal.
Are they? Yeah. I'm on about like mushrooms you get from Tesco. What you on about?
Oh yeah, don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all good. What are you on about?
What are you on about?
The ones you just chuck in like your stew and stuff.
Yeah, cool. One's in your garden.
This is where you're like I've just exposed you for being a raging druggie. That's how you end up doing. That's how you got such a good work ethic.
Well, I got them off you, so.
You didn't. No, you didn't. Who did you get them off?
I don't know.
Oh, is you going secretive now? You got your walls up.
We're going all sneaky.
Right, how do we wrap this up? Do you want me to ask you a heavy question?
Yeah.
It's called mind games, mate.
The hardest thing I've had to ever endure probably
Listen, you don't need to go to... I know I've asked you it, but if it's a painful memory and you're going to start crying on fucking set, don't do it.
You got some tissues for me, Zach?
If this is like brought... if you get PTSD sat here, we'll just cut it. Done.
No, wait, it's not something I've gone through. It's probably something I'm going through now.
Right now?
Yeah. Like, my dad's in a hospice at the minute with dementia. So, like you talked about it, like, with your dad and stuff.
I think I'm going to get upset here.
Yeah, it's fucking heavy.
Shit, mate.
Do you know what I mean? And, like, trying to juggle, it's proper energy zapping. So the hardest thing is actually going there.
Yeah.
Because it's so energy zapping. Like,
does he know who you are?
Some days not.
Isn't it shit?
Do you know what I mean? Like, some days you might, like, I could show him a picture of me, and he'd go like, "Oh, Chris," but then he'll like look at me and he won't know who I am, but he'll know who the picture is. Do you know what I mean? And it's like a slow decline, like over time. So it's like, but going there sometimes, and him literally like just sit there for an hour of him crying, and not knowing who you are or anything, just sitting there like fucking hell, like it's proper energy.
It is hard, mate.
So then to go away and like then crack on with the day is difficult. Do you know what I mean? It's the hardest thing's trying to go there. And I don't really know. I've got no fucking advice for anyone on how to deal with that. Because how do you deal with that? Do you know what I mean?
You can't.
The only thing I can say is it's fucking one of them things.
It still kills me to this day that my dad died not knowing who I was. How do you deal with that? No, if anyone's got a fucking suggestion, tell us because we suffer with it. Do you know what I mean?
Because what I can only... Well, I'm shit scared of death in general, but... The only way I could think of a comforting way to die would be surrounded by your family and feel comforted. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like you just get in my head because that's what, like, I'm scared of dying on my own. Terrified of dying on my own. But if I died with, like, a good family around me.
But if you didn't know who anyone was, you would feel on your own, wouldn't you?
Yeah. If anything, you'd feel worse because you'd surrounded by strangers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
What the fuck do these want?
How are you dealing with it? Like, no. Not like what, I don't mean what steps. Yeah. Like, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm not a very emotional person anyway, to be honest. Yeah. So it's just sort of like one of them things you look at it externally, really, and just go, oh, well, fucking it's shit. And people might think like, fucking hell, he's a bit, like, I don't know, bit of a weirdo. Do you know what I mean? Like, why is he not getting upset and stuff? But like, I'm just one of them people, it's like, everyone goes through shit, do you know what I mean? Like, you've gone through shit. Everyone that's been on the podcast has gone through fucking, like, that's life, innit? And you've got to sort of just go, well, how can I try and control what I'm doing? And, like, I try and mitigate when I'm going. Like, it's no good me going there and then going to, like I couldn't have gone there and then come on the podcast.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
Because you'd just be, like, all over the place, do you know what I mean? So I try and mitigate when I'm going there, like, make sure I'm not doing things afterwards or whatever. Or, like, I try and take Amelia because she'll just distract him. And it avoids us having to have, like, any weird conversations or anything.
Yeah. Does he know who Amelia is?
I don't think he knows who she is, but he just laughs sometimes when he sees her.
Yeah.
So, like, that's easier than trying to have a conversation with someone that can't string a sentence together.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know, not like how you... I've got a question to ask her, and it's not like how you've got through it, but you could throw a fucking rock to someone who gets you, really. I know the people who put the walls up. I think people need to understand that, like, we have just chatted shit for like an hour and 20 minutes. They've just gone, like, Chris, that's the most painful thing you've ever been through in your life. And then you've just gone, this. But no one would know.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
So, like, you've just said, I'm murder for ignoring stuff. I act like it's not happening. So, like, everything that's been going on in the background, which I'm not getting into again because I fucking spoke about it non-stop recently, but I just kind of, like, compartmentalise it. Like, another part. That's how I deal with it. I'd have, like, personal life, work life, and then that, like, I'd have it separate. Like, how are you navigating these clearly tricky waters? Like, what are you doing? Like, do you not even know? Do you just crack on? Like, what do you do?
Just do it.
Because there's some people who are in your position, mate, who, and it's not like a bad thing for them. Like, everyone's fucking different, and it's devastating what you're going through. It is devastating, but that being said, like, people remain devastated by it. They don't crack on. So, like, people will be listening to this, and you'd be surprised how many people listen to it and go, like, fucking hell, like, I'm actually going through that right now. Or if, like, say, if we cut this clip down and put it on a reel or put it on TikTok or whatever, the amount of people who, like, engage with it. Like, what advice would you say of how to handle it? Like, what have you done where you think this works for me?
I don't think I can give it any advice, to be honest, because I think everybody does deal with things very differently. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're quite an emotional person, someone might just have to have like they might go and visit someone who's elderly or ill or whatever, and then cry for half an hour in the car afterwards. But then they go back to the family and they crack on or whatever. Like, it's not me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I sort of think about things and I like compartmentalize it and objectify everything and sort of think, well, how can I change this? Or what's the positive out of it in a way?
Yeah.
And I can't change anything. So the only positive can be is to keep doing what I'm doing, because in 5, 10, 15 years' time, that'll... Do you know what I mean? If I shut down all the businesses now and went, right, I'm going to really just concentrate on
family,
dads and stuff, it wouldn't change his illness.
No.
And it wouldn't even make him, like, wouldn't be better for him.
No.
Because he wouldn't know where I am anyway.
It'd probably be worse overall, because you're witnessing a decline more. Then when you come out of it, you're going to have to start a fucking business again. You're not as secure.
Yeah, it's just one of them things. You just have to sort of go, right.
Do you know one positive? And I take positives out of everything. Do you know there's no positive to your fucking dad having dementia. Obviously, my dad had it as well before he died. But one positive for me is I looked at him, and not, like, you've probably done it as well, where you look at them and then you sit there and think, like your nan said, like, richest person in the graveyard, like, we all end up not necessarily like that, but we all end up there.
Yeah.
And you look at it and go, like, for me, I was like, I've got to make the fucking most of the time I'm here. Like, I've got to, like you say, for me, it puts things more into perspective about spending time with your family, spending time with your loved ones, doing you more. Do you know what I mean? Rather than, like, what's the phrase? Is it living to work, working to live kind of thing?
Something like that, mate.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Let me just bring up two things there. So first thing, the decline of my dad originated because he fell out of bed and broke his neck.
Right.
And ended up paralysed. Like, was fine before that, do you know what I mean? Normal bloke. Fell out of bed, broke his neck, spent years in hospital, paralysed, and then slowly, like, declined and whatever. The second thing, when he was in hospital, probably towards the back end of last year, there was an old dude in the bed opposite him, and he had a picture next to his bed, and he was like this tiny, probably like 50 kilo, little frail old man, and the picture next to his bed, he was like Navy commander or something, loads of medals on and stuff like that. I was like, fucking hell. And he was probably like young man or whatever, and you go, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's gone from like...
that to that.
Yeah, he's gone from there, and eventually everyone ends up there. Do you know what I mean? No matter who you think you are, you're always going to end up, like, decline eventually.
Yeah. And time waits for no one.
Doesn't, mate.
Time and tide waits for no one. That's why, like, we've probably, like, brought the tone down a bit here. We've, like, going from, like, fucking laughing about mushrooms to fucking to, like, fucking the worst experiences and fucking memories in the world. But there's something positive to take from it, and you can kind of get caught up in shit that doesn't really fucking matter. And, like, any time you waste is, like, you aren't getting it back.
No.
So you do look at stuff like that and you go, fucking hell, it's happened to him, it's going to happen to me. You look at, obviously, things that happened to your dad, my dad, other family members who we've lost as well. And you kind of can sit there and go, yeah, it's sad, but at the same time, like, fucking, you can take something from it where you're like, right, I'm here, I'm healthy, I've got a future ahead of me, like, fucking make the most of it. That's the way I look at it anyway. I'm, like, wired to take positives from everything, even if it's impossible to do. So I've got to, like, conjure one up, like, but yeah, it's not the best, is it?
Heavy ending to the
Heavy
podcast.
ending, but mate, I appreciate you bringing it up.
That's all right.
Well, I don't appreciate you bringing it up, do you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you, like, actually opening up about it and talking about it. I'm sure a lot of people will take something from it. Do you want to say something nice to end the podcast on, because this is the grimmest ending we've ever had?
Oh, fucking hell, you put me on the spot there. No, I've got nothing to say.
Got nothing to say, right? We'll just end it there then. Thanks for listening.
Have a boss day.
Thanks for ruining my day, Chris.
That's a nice way to end it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just have a boss day.
Just
No
have
matter
a
what
great
you're
day.
doing, just have a great day.
Have a great day. Sorry for bringing the mood down, but yeah, try and have a better day off the back of that. Thanks for listening.